Welcome to this YouTube guide to the Celebration of Life service, and this particular episode looks at readings and poems. So it's about making a funeral celebration of life ceremony flow and how to use poems and readings in a celebration of life funeral service. If you've seen my other videos, you'll know what we've learned so far. So we've talked about the entrance music, our music for reflection, which can be a hymn if you wish. You can have one or two of those. And your farewell music. Once you've chosen your entrance, your reflection and your farewell music, we've looked at a simple introduction to a service, and there is a guide on how to construct that part in the links below. The next thing we need to think about is the readings and poetry. So as you can see, we've put the readings in after the introduction and between the music for reflection and the farewell music. There's reason for this. We need to create flow in the service. Some people think of the service as a multi-layered sandwich. The bread is like the music. In this case, it's at the beginning, the bottom and the middle. The butter is like the words that hold it all together. And the readings and tributes are like the fillings. We want to create layers and interest. So we use the layer idea to create flow. Moving from one type of item to another creates interest, as does having another voice. So it may be an idea to break up a long tribute with a poem or another reader. Or you can break up two pieces of music with a reading, a prayer or a tribute. 2, 3 or 4 pieces of poem or scripture is quite normal. It's easier if you break them up to the beginning, the middle and the end. You can have 1 or 2 tributes or more if you like. You can have 3 pieces of music, sometimes 4, and opening and closing words. Remember, you do have a limited time scale, and you may have to cut some things down to include other things. So we choose the poems and the readings. Things to remember: that a poem does not have to be too complicated. If you're creative, it's okay to start with some simple words, and they don't even have to rhyme. There are already some amazing funeral poetry available on the net. And reciting a poem is a beautiful way for people to take part in a ceremony. There are also some very familiar Bible readings, and I'll put a link below, such as the 23rd Psalm, which talks about the Lord being a shepherd. Others, of course, talk about heaven, many rooms and mansions. There are even some that talk about love, and another one that mentions times and seasons. And again, I've left a link below for some inspiration. You can still have a Bible reading even if the rest of the service is completely non-religious. It's completely up to you. So some useful hints. When reading poetry, or actually anything in public, try to slow down, normally by at least a third. Remember to speak into the microphone if it's available, or, if not, imagine you are speaking to someone at the back of the room. And it is okay to stop, to gather your emotions, to wipe away a tear, and then, if you can, carry on. It's always okay for someone else to be on standby, should you find it difficult to continue to the end. And finally, don't forget to breathe or look for a friendly face. It really does help. So in this video, we've started to construct the readings, the music and the tributes, and thinking them like layers of a sandwich. the music as the bread, the words as the butter, and the tributes as the content. Take your time, breathe, pause if you have to, and it's okay to get emotional or have someone else on standby should you need them. And if in doubt, please do use a celebrant or someone else who's used to public speaking who can read on your behalf. So we've covered a simple order of service. From the entrance music, your welcome and reading, where your tribute goes, your second piece of music, a further reading, farewell words we will cover in a future video, and finally, your closing music. In our next video, we'll begin to look at how to construct a simple tribute or eulogy. And if I can be of any help to you